Not to go down a rabbit hole, but if we talk about cleaning out your brain, the lymphatic system, and detoxification, what are some of your favorite ways to detox? Is it infrared sauna? Is it green
Mm.
juices?
Well, I think that the word detox in the modern lexicon has kind of become dysynchronous from the way it was originally intended. Detoxification in a medical sense generally has to do with liver detoxification pathways that break down environmental toxins and keep you from developing toxicity. In the modern day, we use the word detox a little bit more generously. So we talk about detoxing with a juice cleanse, or we talk about a digital detox. I think that's all fine, but I think we have to try to be specific about what it means inside the body. So, as it relates to this more general idea of trying to clean up our system, trying to clean up our thinking, trying to clean up our health, you know, I'm not a huge fan of doing things in an unhealthy way and then trying to press the reset button occasionally by taking a whole bunch of supplements or jumping in some red light or in a sauna. I think what's more important is to try to use natural ways of detoxification. What that means is trying to, in general, use foods or eat phytochemicals that promote the detoxification systems in the body. And the way that we do that is by eating a diet that has a diverse range of these phytonutrients, phytochemicals, specifically, and again, nothing that you don't know, but eating green leafy vegetables, eating vegetables with a variety of colors. That's the way that you support this for the long run, as opposed to trying to fix everything overnight.
Right, you brought up diet. There's many, many different types of diet.
Yes, there are.
What do you think is probably the best way, and the best way or the healthiest way to eat, or how do you eat?
Yeah, well, anybody who's listening in probably knows about the diet wars. There are people out there advocating for a carnivore diet. There are people out there advocating for a vegan diet. There are keto people. There are paleo people. There are people who are everywhere along that spectrum. And for the most part, it seems like these people are arguing for their unique perspective at the expense of looking at what other people are doing. So the other important piece to know here is it's probably not the case that there's this one diet that's absolutely perfect for everyone. There may be some people who respond very well to a ketogenic diet. Those would be seeming to be people who have insulin resistance and people who are maybe trying to get on a healthier weight loss plan initially and to improve their insulin sensitivity. But it doesn't mean that the ketogenic diet is perfect for everyone. Similarly, the vegetarian or even vegan diet may work well for certain people, but then you have to be careful about levels of micronutrients. You have to be careful about vitamin levels. So, what I try to do and try to advocate for is a generally balanced diet, which is primarily plant based with the inclusion of the highest anti inflammatory content animal based foods. The diet that we recommend in Brainwash is actually the diet that I follow, and it's a diet that recommends interventions to lower inflammation and interventions, so both removing the inflammatory components of the diet and then adding in anti-inflammatory components. Um, One thing that I think we can all kind of agree on is that the modern American diet or the standard American diet is fraught with added sugar. So there's actually research from UNC suggesting that about 68% of the 1.2 million foods that they studied in the American food chain contain added sugars and sweeteners. There's really no one out there who's saying we need to eat more sugar. Basically, everyone's on the same page, with the exception maybe of the sugar industry, in advocating for less added sugar in our diet. So that's actually in a wonderful place for the average person to make some amazing changes to their diet to cut out something that is literally poison. It is causing inflammation. It is contributing to these rates of chronic diseases. That means looking at the back of the nutrition information or the nutrition facts and seeing whether there's added sugar, seeing where sugar is sneaking into your meal. So that's something that I do personally with everything that I consume, is try to find out where there's added sugar. The other part of it, which is perhaps a little bit more technical, is, as I said, trying to consume foods that are anti-inflammatory. In general, what that means is in the three kind of major macro categories, when it comes to carbohydrates, you want to eat less refined carbohydrates and more fiber. So more natural carbohydrates that are whole vegetables, whole plant-based foods. When it comes to the protein-based category, that means trying to do what you can to maximize anti-inflammatory animal proteins, if you choose to eat those, which include primarily the omega-3 rich fish, as well as if you eat plant-based proteins, those tend to have a bit of an anti-inflammatory profile as well, provided they haven't been stripped down, as I said, with the refined carbohydrates. The last thing would be when it comes to the fat-based profile. As I said, you want to be eating the high omega-3 rich fish for fats. That's a really healthy fat. But also, you want to be eating the plant-based fats that are good for us, the polyunsaturated, the monounsaturated fats. And those would be things that you find in avocados and nuts and olive oil.